What's good with y'all? It's for the 5th installment, episode 5 of the 212 podcast. Hope y'all enjoyed the last few episodes, but as you see, we starting to switch things up. Well, today our guest host, is going to be OG Till, a.k.a. I'm a G. But make sure y'all check out socials, 212 on Instagram, I'm a G on Instagram, King2Suave on Instagram. As well, please like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. If y'all really fuck with us and y'all want us to grow, we need y'all to fuck with us. YouTube fucks with the algorithms on people who comment and who sends that shit out. So please share everything, comment on it, even if you putting up some bullshit. We appreciate it. But today, we have a special guest from Boston, OG Till, like I said already. And I'm real excited to do this episode. Bro made me get into my journalism bag. Made me feel like I was Brian Gumble and shit today. But tell us a little about yourself, big dog.
A little bit about myself.
Just a little bit.
Like the homie said, man, my name is Till. I'm from the city. I was born in Roxbury. I was born in the Dorchester area, but I got a lot of ties into Roxbury. I hung in Roxbury because it was like slime time. It was treacherous, so I'm from Dorchester, the Grove Hall section, but you know.
So you one of them niggas who call Grove Hall Dorchester?
We ain't gonna have this debate.
Cause this could be a 5-hour conversation right there.
That's just debatable.
That is a long debate.
No, but it's to us. What you think is Mattapan? Cause you a Mattapan nigga?
No. It's a Roxbury. No, but ask any. That's why I drank.
Oh, cause it's on the backside.
Yeah, but
okay, I get it.
I'm one of them niggas who I love Mattapan. That's where I grew up at. But I'm never gonna discredit Roxbury. Like them niggas took me in. Right. Like I love Roxbury almost as much as I love Mattapan. I'll never discredit Roxbury, never. Yeah. But going forward, today's topic we're gonna talk about: can the streets break your heart? And just with a lot going on in the social media, a lot going on in real life, we have a lot to unpack. Just as real men that came from the streets, right. And I don't like to use the term street niggas no more because everything's just distorted and lines is blurred everywhere you look, from a hood nigga to a gang nigga to a street nigga. It's all distorted, and it's like that's just really breaking my heart. Because growing up, I lived on my morals, values, principles, and as well, I believe it's like the street code was law. It's like fuck with everyone else. The street code is law.
Right. Then,
as you see, some people that you look up to, some people, and it's like you niggas ain't ingrained in this shit. You may preach it, but you really don't live this shit. It's not. Armor on your jacket. This is some shit you just might say this to sound cool. And the more social media is coming out, I'm just getting depressed. Not even depressed. I'm getting upset just by seeing how you can't distort the lines between a real man and the street nigga and the fucking hood nigga. It's just all weird.
Right.
But I want to talk about how I was first introduced to Till. You was down with Big Bro. Like, love that nigga Rob.
Oh, that's
my
bro.
nigga Black Rob.
That's bro.
So every time I be talking to Matt or something, when he be around Rob, whatever, his name came up like, yo, bro, Selly, like, nigga, $500,000 on the pills and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what? No way, bro. Like, who the fuck lost that much money and still doing it? But tell me about your time that you have spent in the correction system, and how has it helped navigate you to be the man that you are today?
Man, I feel like one of the most important things Malcolm X had ever said that I identified with was when he said that he put like prison second to college, if that makes sense. Because if a man's motivated to change himself in that environment, that you could change yourself for the better. Mm-hmm. So it's like, I'm not gonna lie, like inevitably, I was gonna end up in that environment because of the way that I was living. Like it was like your rite of passage as a man. And I want to just make a disclaimer.
Facts.
Like I don't want nobody to think that the type of shit that I'm saying, I don't know if I can look at the camera. Can I look at the camera?
Yep.
Listen, I don't want nobody to think that I'm glorifying this shit. I don't want nobody to feel like I'm one of these hood book niggas that's on some, I made it, you might not make it out type of shit. Like I'm really gonna give you the pain. I'm gonna be like really honest about this shit. Because, my hopes is that I could stop, a child from going through the shit that I went through. Or at least be able to like why they might go through these trials and tribulations.
And I love that, as a real man, you said overstand, not understand. So I already get where you coming from, bro. I get where you coming from.
Yeah.
So you said you grew up in the Roxbury, Dorchester area.
Right.
And what high school did you go to, if you don't mind me asking?
Man, I went to prison.
Everywhere, prison? Damn.
Because it's crazy because, yo, like on some G shit, bro, I went through like probably, well, we're gonna do the math together. So I started out in Boston High, right?
English.
The 12 to 4. No, Boston High, Boston Technical High. So I started out in Boston High, right? I went from Boston High to Southie High. I got kicked out of Boston High, went to Southie High, right? From Southie High, I went to Brockton High. Got expelled and caught a case in Brockton High. Went to New Bedford High, right? Went from New Bedford High to try to get in Madison. They wasn't fucking with me because I guess at the time they had this thing that if you went through a certain amount of schools in a short amount of time, no school has to accept you. But my father used to go to English. And so he took me to English, so I got into English High. And my first day of English, I swear to God, no exaggeration, I walked and I got to the door. They had metal detectors, and I had a hammer on me. And I turned around. I'll never forget this shit. It was snowing. I turned around. I tried to stash my yard missile somewhere. Bro, when I went to school, that shit was just so crazy. Like the first day, motherfuckers had hoodies inside there, and it was just a whole totally different element. I came out, I couldn't find my hammer. I said, fuck school. I quit that day. I was in prison within 3 months.
Damn, see, that's nothing to laugh at, but niggas said, I quit school because niggas took my pistol.
Dead ass, I couldn't find this shit. I'm like, I'm not going through this
That's
shit.
like
bro.
that's like a nigga go to the basketball court, like, nigga took my basketball, nigga, I ain't going back in there no more.
I said, fuck school. You feel me? Yeah.
No, that's funny, man. But before we get into the real meat and potatoes of this podcast, what we like to do is take a remembrance shot for just, I know I wouldn't be the man I am today without losing so many people, without having so much pain and trauma, but trying to live through this shit.
Right.
But you are really one person who, like, I ain't gonna lie, I can be negative sometimes. And at certain times I be looking like, you don't even gotta be that negative. Like, I look at you as a light, bro. No bullshit. From everything I've seen you in the past 8 years, 7, 8 years, my nigga, I've never seen you put your hands on a nigga. I've never seen you talk down on to a female, talk down to another man. I've never seen you have bad energy around, never. And it's just like, yo, how the fuck does this nigga just be doing this shit, bro?
That's a question, or are we going to take a shot?
We're going to take a shot, then we're going to get into it.
Cool.
All right, man. 212 Podcast.
212 Podcast. Salute. Salute to all the young kings, RIP, everybody that we lost. Okay.
So yeah, I want to get into what keeps you so level-headed, bro?
Damn, that's a good fucking question. What keeps me level-headed is just like, I just feel like life is like an uphill battle, but you know, the beauty is coming down the other end, you know? Like, I feel like all the trials and tribulations, like the things that I've been through, it just taught me just never to quit. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and so I just stay focused every single day. I'm like literally like digging deep into myself and just constantly just reinventing myself, if that makes sense.
It definitely does make sense, but what does the work look like to do that, bro?
Like, it's a lot of work, you know?
Talk to me, because I need to do that work. So shit, school me right now.
Man, it's just like a lot of, you know what I've learned? You know, when no one else is fucking with you, you gotta just learn how to fuck with yourself, bro. You know? You gotta like shut out a lot of this bullshit. Like, I don't really get into a lot of the social media type shit. Like, you'll see me breezing through, I'll navigate through it. But it's like I'm one of them type of people, like, I don't really like get too like oversaturated in this shit. I'm like really on my militant shit. Like, the majority of time I'm playing chess with life. You know what I'm saying? I'm motivating myself. I'm like my biggest critic. I'm my biggest supporter, if that makes sense.
That definitely makes sense because I also look at myself like that. Like I really am my biggest supporter, my biggest critic. Can't no one tell me shit. Like I'm gonna tell myself that before someone else said, "Man, now you fucked up here. You shouldn't have did that. You was wrong in this situation. You wasn't suave in this situation, bro. You was wrong." I'm the first one to tell myself that. But even with still me doing the work, I still be looking to, well, I only acted like that because someone made me react. And you know, coming up in the hood, it's like, well, every action deserves a reaction. And that shit is not the fucking truth. And there's like so many ideologies that was put into us as a kid.
Right.
I'm debunking as I'm growing up, and I'm like, that shit don't make no fucking. Why am I gonna argue with this nigga who definitely got nothing going on right now? And going back to his mom's crib, why am I about to fucking argue with this nigga? Nah, I got some prime pussy out the crib, and I'm about to go run back to. Why am I about to? But the old me was just like, nah, this nigga. He's trying to challenge my manhood right now. And I'm not gonna lie, also with me being a nigga like I was coming up, oh, this nigga's from Rosendale. I'm gonna show you the nigga from Rosendale. Yeah, you're not gonna play with me, bro. Yeah, I'll be from Rosendale, but you niggas not gonna play with me.
Right.
So that was an insecurity that I had in myself too, that I had to notice maybe within the next few years. It's like a lot of things I did, a lot of reason why I have the persona of the suave that I am was just feeling insecurities when it comes to just women, when it comes to just hood shit, when it comes to street shit. It's like you trying to compete and battle with motherfuckers that you shouldn't be competing battling with.
Right.
But next question I want to ask you is, because to me it's like real talk. Anybody I ask, females, males, nobody has ever said one bad word about Till. Which is your definition of a gentleman?
That's funny because you know it's crazy. Like when nobody got nothing bad to say about yourself, it start making you feel like your friends are your enemies. You know?
Explain that to me.
I just feel like I'm just always just militant. Like somebody got not like a motherfucker. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, so I feel like I get nervous when everybody like me because the culture that I came up into, it was like I was conditioned in hate. Like I loved hate. Now I'm not that same type of person that I was, but it's like that hate shit like motivated me.
Word,
I didn't
bro.
like when motherfuckers like me. But then I had to reinvent myself. You feel what I'm saying? If that makes sense. Like I feel like I had to work hard to be a different person than I was. And it's crazy because, you know, females will teach you a lot about yourself. And it's crazy because a female had said that to me. She was like, yo, she gonna see this shit too and be like, yo, because we converse. She was like, yo, I be seeing motherfuckers playing with you on Twitter and be like, it'll make me like really just shiver. Like, do they know who they playing with?
You know how he gets?
But I just, so getting back to your question, I feel like it's gonna all tie in. I feel like what makes you a gentleman is something that I pride myself in. I'd rather pride myself in being a gentleman than a gangster. Like a gentleman is someone that carries himself humbly. He's respectful. You know, he was the person that literally, and that's the epitome of who I was when the motherfucker moms was coming with the groceries in the hood. Exactly. It could be 30 of us on the steps. Yo, excuse me.
Yo, get the fuck out the way, nigga, move.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
so,
bro.
Because I feel like a lot of us that came up in a lot of these situations, we didn't just come up just hateful. Like,
it was conditioned. We was taught to be like that.
Yeah, we was taught that shit.
And it's crazy you saying that because it's like no bull. So we already in our first 20 minutes, and I'm just like, yo, what the fuck? Because I know you was in when I first came outside in the suave like shit. Like, just imagine Tupac hopping out the car spitting on niggas. Right. That was me, nigga. Like, nigga, you niggas ain't doing. Nigga, I've been out here. Nigga, you niggas ain't outside like I was outside, nigga. Like, that was me. Right. And it was just like, it was necessary, but it wasn't necessary. I didn't need to be like that. I could have handled myself 10 different ways to get to where I wanted to get to. And that's why I'm in the mode of recreating myself, because the real person who I am, like, I've always been a gentleman. Like, my name is Suave, and I'm Suave to the T.
I like that.
But I am a nigga that I have to be who I am.
Right.
In certain situations. But when it comes to like, it's funny because women are gonna watch this and see the females that don't know me, as soon as they sit down across from me from a dinner, whatever. Oh my God, I didn't know your vernacular was like this. I didn't know. I didn't know
Immaculate.
I didn't know you were such a gentleman. It's like,
Yeah.
because I'm not gonna show everybody this. It's not necessary. But then coming up, we thought if we showed ourselves to be as a gentleman,
Right.
it was lackluster. It was lacked in.
Right.
But when you look back to 30s, the 40s, the gangsters were the gentlemen.
Right.
And that's why my next question is to you. So now, what's the gangster to you now? To me, a gangster's a fucking dirty nigga that got no food in the refrigerator that's angry at everybody. That's the gangster, my nigga.
I don't know if that's a gangster. So, if you'd ask me my definition, because I feel like the streets is like our college, right? Like, you know, when I looking back, like this is hindsight. This isn't, like, a lot of that shit was just wasted time, right? Wasted talent. But at that time when you was coming up, like you was literally trying to make your mark in this shit. Like you literally would have done whatever it took to prove that you was on some gangster shit. To me, I don't really identify on no gangster shit. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I done been through some gangster shit. I identify myself with just being just a solid man. But to me, as far as when I think about the gangster shit, I feel like it was like every day that I woke up, I got suited, I got dressed, I put my uniform on as far as, you know, everything that I might needed to get through the day.
Exactly.
When I walked out that door, I accepted whatever came with this shit. That's the only gangster shit that I identify with.
Okay. And that's definitely not this generation, but that's where I come from. It's
right.
You gotta, like I said, and like my friends who know me, my nickname is King. Make my bed and lie in it. Cause
what's it?
King, make my bed and lie in it. Like if I did some shit, it's like, yeah, man, let me just deal with this issue.
Oh, King, make my bed
and lie. If I did what I did,
that.
I'm gonna make my bed and lie in that shit, my nigga.
That's
it is.
it.
I gotta stay there until I can wake up, until I can get up out the fucking bed.
That's it.
And that's the type of person I am. So a lot of people look at me like, you don't need to be like that. You can, you know, have a face out there. But it's like, why? When I'm really going through this, because I know my young niggas that look up to me, that follow me, they call me when they going through it, because they know. I know Big Bro been through it and this nigga got through it.
Right.
But a lot of these niggas act like they never been through no shit. So it's like, damn, you know what? You know what? Damn, how do I get like that, motherfucker? Cause that nigga, he's scot-free. But ain't nobody in this fucking world scot-free. Nobody.
Yo, that's a crazy point that you made that. And like, I gotta plug this one time. Like, I got a book coming out, right? And it's called The Grief of a G. And in this book, like, right, I wanna discuss those things because I feel like that's the shit that I'm really turned off by social media. Like, I feel like be yourself. If you a scamming nigga that really came up off yamming,
scam it.
Admit that, right?
I love my niggas from the side of town that do that.
Listen, it's nothing wrong with you being who you are, but don't act like you want some BMF shit, because then what you do is you have these young niggas thinking that there's still 80s money out in the streets.
And it's not, bro.
And you lying, you know what I'm saying? So, So to kind of like bring my point home, it's like I feel exactly where you're coming from with just the way this shit is being distorted. In my book, I'm really gonna break down a lot of different respects, because it's like two books, and I'm just gonna just be real briefly and touch it real briefly.
No, you let me be brief. I got my fault to cut you off.
Okay.
The end of the show's all for your book. That's but you talk about it right now.
All right. So basically, right. Because I came from, it's crazy, a lot of people might not know this shit about me, right? I came from a middle class household.
Me too.
I lived in between Magnolia and Lawrence Ave. I had a 6-bedroom.
Oh, we know how them
crib.
cribs over there. We know
Huge,
how them cribs
right?
over there.
Check it out, right? Right next to the King's School where I went to school at. My mother was a nurse. My father was a policeman. Can you believe that? Like, on some G shit.
Yes, I could.
But he was crooked. God rest my father. When he died, he was a 32-degree Mason. Sharp motherfucker, and I learned a lot of different things. But my point is, it's like I came from a middle class neighborhood, and like the way that I came up was like so totally different into the person that I became, and so I want to discuss inside my book how you can literally like change, how the hood can like make you something that you necessarily wasn't predestined to be, but then it kind of like was, because I feel like a lot of these things that we kind of got trapped into, we might not have planned for us to take that route, but it was outlined for us to kind of go that way, if that makes sense.
Yeah, like one of my lines I use a lot, muck tub.
What is it?
Muck tub. Read it in fucking the Alchemist. It was written, bro. All of this shit was fucking written from a time before. So we're just following. It's up to us to audible, but we're kind of just following the kind of the poem, the product of my environment. Example that was kind of put in front of us. Okay, we saw fathers, we saw uncles. You're from here, you should act like this. Oh, but then, and there's even stigma. If you're not from here, you shouldn't act like this.
Right.
I done met some solid people who, from Rosendale, from West Roxbury, some solid niggas, more than some niggas from Roxbury, Dorchester.
Of course.
But so it's like, just because, but in my mind, from what we taught, it's like, oh, cause you coming from this element and you didn't have these type of traumas that make you this type of person, you can't be this type of person.
Right.
When that's not the truth. It's like, the person you are, you determine who you are. So certain people follow that predestined line, and certain people trot off the path. Because like I said, my father he didn't want me to go down the path that I went to. Like, I remember the first time he caught me selling drugs. That nigga, he ran back in the crib, and I was dumb. I used his car that night. Like, look how privileged I can stay. I'm 16, 17, using my pops and my mom's whip. Let me use your car right quick, yo. I'm going out. My pops had one of them XC90s, one of them Volvo shits, when they first came out new. I used to be pushing that shit around when I was 16, 17, thinking I was that nigga. I left the pack under the seat. He wakes me up in the morning, like, yo, let me see my keys right quick. I'm like, fuck. All right. Give him his keys. I run outside. I go to the car. I run outside. I ask him a question right quick. He's like, what? I take this shit and just get out the car. The nigga, like, he come like, yo, what you just do? I'm like, nothing. He runs in the crib like, yo, what the fuck you just do? I'm like, showed him like, yeah, I left my pack in the car last night. He's like, the nigga goes downstairs, like, he's mad at me. He goes downstairs and takes out, like, my father had an office in the basement. He was who he was, but he also, he took care of business.
Right.
Lay down he just sold 2 cribs. Look, that's how much money I made off this. You don't got to do this shit. It's like, why don't you been show me this, nigga? Why don't you been show me this? I've been watching the example you've been set for so long. Right. And I understand it's like, I'm also seeing you do the shit on the crib, but I'm seeing more of this. I'm seeing more of niggas in the crib and make this happen. Nigga, you just made all this money off cribs? Right. So I've been taught, I was been taught that. My father been set me on that road. But because I wanted to live up to who my family was and who, nah, nigga, let me take 2 steps off the path. When, nigga, I really could have been a fucking valedictorian at fucking Harvard right now, and I should have been. Right. But
I mean, you still can. But it's crazy because when you flip that, it's like, can you imagine? I sold my father crack at 16 years old, and he was a cop.
Yeah, so.
You know what I'm trying to say? So I feel like, you know, when you look back at a lot of those elements, it's like, I feel like that it infuriated me, you know?
How about the acts? How did that affect you?
It affected me in a lot of ways, and that's why, like I'm saying, getting back to the point that I was making about my book is like, me navigating through a lot of these different things. I want to like really speak on situations that I went through, but also telling a person like why they shouldn't take those steps, because I feel like the hatred, all of these things, it's like when you make a meal, right? You put all the ingredients and that creates that meal. I feel like when I put the resentment, the anger, the all of these different things that I went through, bro, like that shit really made me who I was. I didn't want to be this person, and it's crazy. I don't know if I'm leading off topic.
No, bro, keep talking, bro. I'm learning.
I didn't want to be, and it's crazy because I can even say this, like me being I'm a G. That shit was kind of like a sarcastic joke. When I flipped my 15 in the feds, and I came home, shorty that I was fucking with, she was like, yo, she was putting me on the social media and shit, and I'm gonna get back to my story. She's like, oh yeah, whoop whoop, and she's like, yeah, there's this new shit called Facebook out, and you'll be able to keep contact with your family and all this shit. And so I'm watching her because I'm like, I don't know how to she's trying to teach me how to make emails, all this shit. So she's putting my name in there, and I'm watching her. She's like, Till, I'm like, what the fuck is you doing? She's like, you got to put your name in it. And I'm like, no, don't put my fucking name in that shit. She's like, what am I supposed to put? I'm like, bitch, I don't know, Umma. She's like, Umma what? I'm a G, bitch. Put anything, don't put my name. So it's like people think that I tried to act as if I was just super gangster, but it's like
I've been wondering what the fuck UMMA
Yeah.
means, bro. This whole fucking time, bro.
So, because you see how that is. It's so my point was getting back to that story was crazy because that's when in my book I'm touching on these things and basically how my mother when she talked to me because my mother was like righteous, like she gave me so many jewels, you know, and I was named after my father, who was named after his father, who was named after his father, and so my mother, I don't know, you know, she was really really spiritual. She talked about like the sins of your forefathers, like you paying for the sins of your father, right? And I don't know why, even as a kid, that shit stuck with me. Like my pops, like when he was born, dead ass, like, and I can't make this shit up. His mother took him and gave him to his father's mistress. She said, "You got the man, you could take the son too." So because of that, my father didn't really know how to love. You understand? Because that connection, that bond was broken between him and a woman because a woman nurtures, she loves. So he's already at a disconnect. So now when it came to valuable shit that my father was supposed to teach me, he wasn't able to. He was disconnected. There was times when I really feel like if he would have guided me, if he would have talked to me about certain shit when I was making these decisions, and that's why I feel like no bullshit. Like parents, raise your kids because if you don't, the streets are gonna. And so my mother did the best that she can, but she's working. She's a nurse. My pops is a cop, but this dude is like mentally. He went through so many different things mentally because he's still dealing with the toxic characteristics and you know the shit that he went through during his childhood.
The trauma.
So going through that trauma, now when he sees me in the hood and I'm 10, 11 years old and I'm hanging with motherfuckers that I'm not supposed to hang with,
Let him do it.
you know, he's like, I'm thinking he's ego tripping, you know, because he's like, yo, I don't woo, fuck you doing? And I'm like, why? Why can't? Because I didn't really know. And he's like, because I said so. That really didn't teach me anything.
No.
And so now, as things progress, and now I start learning what the fuck my pops got going on in the neighborhood, I found out by kids that I fuck around with, right? And you know, niggas Jones or whatever, niggas is roasting each other. And I knew my pops used to go into a specific lady in the hood, God rest her soul, she passed away, but she was getting money, but I didn't really know what was going in as a child. So while we was going back and forth, you know, motherfucker hit me with it like, I'm roasting him. Oh man, you got this, because I kind of pretty much had a lot of different things. Man, that's why you dress like this. Oh yeah, that's why your pop smoked crack. And it's like, what? And then everybody was laughing. So it's like, that shit really infuriated me. You feel what I'm saying? And it was like, it really put me in a space where I started lining up with things that my mother had told me, because I didn't understand when she was trying to tell me about this disease that my pops had, that forget to take his kids to the store or take his daughter to get ice cream. And so now when you fast forward that into me being 15, 16, after jumping off the porch at 10 years old because I'm kind of misguided and I got all this time on my hands, my mother's at work, my father's somewhere doing whatever he's doing. And so, and now I'm in the element of this shit. Now at 15, 16, my pops find out I got it. And he come to me, and the nigga catches me right, and he's like, "Man, listen, let me get that. I need it." And I'm like, "You need what? What you talking about?" "Man, listen, I know what's going on. I know you got it. How much for woo whoop?" And I'm like, "What? I ain't got shit." To the point, no bullshit. I gave him like five jizzles.
Krills. We used to call back in the day, krills.
You hear me? I gave him 5 of them shits, and I couldn't even take the bread. But it fucked me up. Because now I understood as a child, like, why my pops used to play the games that he played. It's to the point where emotionally, like, I'm so mentally fucked up, like, emotion-wise, from just a lot of different things that I went through.
I know what
he
you
would
mean,
jump
bro.
out, like, I can't be startled. You know how you scared bitch and she, or female, excuse me. And she'll, like, I can never be frightened because my pops used to literally jump out on me because he was doing his 1-2 somewhere in the crib, and if I got too close, he would, so he could throw me off so I wouldn't know that he was smoking crack.
Yeah.
But here's a man that literally is a police officer doing overtime, one of the top paying dudes, and we're living in this big crib, and you know, we kind of got things that we want, but then it starts to deteriorate the dynamics of the family, because now when these kids start telling me that my pops is a crackhead, you know, now it's like, I don't want to be associated with you. Yeah. And so the sins of our fathers, kind of his father, trickles down into me, and it's trickling down into our children if we don't stop these generational curses.
God damn, that was a lot to unpack, bro. And it's like every time you speak, I see a little bit of me in something you saying, bro. And it's like, and it's like I'm latching on, and it's making me lose the next question I wanted to ask or think. Cause I'm fucking sitting here like a little kid in front of fucking 3 o'clock cartoon. Like, damn, what's Till about to say next? Like,
I don't even feel like I said shit neither yet.
like, bro, you done weighed on me a lot, bro. No bullshit. The thing you just said that just really went on me is like, cause I'm an angry person, like, and I don't need to be that angry. I done heard a lot of people say that shit, and they do have the right, but I've been through a few things that make me the angry nigga I am. But it's like, and like I said, I look at you as a light, cause I know you have been through shit 10 times worse than me. And you can still walk around with a smile on your face and a smile and walk around with this, and it's like, no, if this nigga Till can do, why the fuck can I, my nigga? I can't keep making excuses for this reason. So what you said about using your emotions is like making a dish. It's like I may be showing that woman some contriteness. I may be charming to her, but in the back of my mind, I got some underlying issues where I'm like, nah, I'm doing this because I want this result. I'm doing this. So when that all throws into the pot at the end of the day, when the meal's made, I'm not happy with it because I threw a lot of bullshit in that I know I really didn't. It was just I just did it to get it done.
Can I say this too? To that point, don't think I'm a paragon of just perfection. Like, on some real shit, like what you said about these things, like, and it's crazy because it's like a mirror. I feel like I'm talking to my younger self by speaking to you. And on some real shit, man, at least you accepting that at your age, because at your age, I was so deep into hatred, you couldn't talk to me about nothing. Like, a woman couldn't talk to me. I didn't even understand. Like I told you, I literally got up every day motivated by destruction. And so now I'm just getting to a point where I'm apologizing to women, even, and sometimes, you know what, on some G shit, I'm not even apologizing for something I did wrong to them. I'm apologizing to myself. Because sometimes disease is disease, so it's when you holding on to these different
I might have
things, bro.
affected you for you being around me.
You understand what I'm saying? Sometimes apologizing to someone else is also forgiving yourself, because it's like, damn, sometimes, like how you said, when you're your own worst critic, right? You might be like, how did I let this bitch get over on me? How did I let her do this, or how did I let her do those things? And so you're really angry at yourself and her, but you're more angry at yourself because you felt that you allowed certain things. Sometimes you got to be able to say, yo, you know what, shorty? I apologize, because we're supposed to be natural born leaders as men. You understand? And by being a leader as a man, sometimes it takes you to be the big enough person, because a woman is an emotional creature. I'm not saying they're not intelligent.
Yeah, but they act on real emotions. But
as men, it's okay, and this was something that wasn't ever taught to us as kids. I feel like for the most part, and this is something that I do with my kids now. Like, I teach them it's okay to hug a nigga or tell them, yo, I love you. I could hug my kids, because there was that disconnect, and it made me angry with my father. I wrote this nigga like a letter that was one of the most heartfelt things that I felt that I ever did, and he disregarded my letter, and that shit just really drove my point home. You understand?
Yeah.
Because in my letter, I was basically saying, like, yo, I really value, like, because my pops, he would literally come see me religiously. I was wilding so much in the jails, and I'm sure you've heard stories, but
we don't talk about it.
Yeah, it's not like I was just trying to be a super gangster. It was because I was just so angry. And my father would literally still come, and I'm looking around like, damn, this nigga's here. Who else is here? My sister? No, I don't want to see this nigga. You understand? But when I really reflected on my triple shooting case, I wrote my pops a letter, and I really tried to reach out to him after all of these years. Now I'm sitting here and I'm saying to him, and I said, yo, on some G shit, I feel like if Jesus Christ died for our sins, I feel like you sacrificed yourself so that, because I don't fuck with drugs. So for you to be able to go through and watching me watch you with your trials and tribulations, I feel like you went through that shit so I didn't. And I said, yo, I love you. No, this is what I said to my pops, because we didn't really share emotions. So when he came and picked me up, now remember, he came and picked me up my first bid, came and picked me up my second bid. So he comes and gets me, and I'm like, yo, pops, I get in the car. what's good? I'm like, yo, you read my letter? It's like, man, son, I ain't ready to read it. I'll read it when I, you know, I'm not ready to read it yet. And in my mind, it's like, yeah, that just gave me more fuel to the fire.
Fuck it, what's the point? Would I waste my time for?
Why I should hate. I got shot. Was it the first time or the second time? I got shot twice in 1 month, right? I think that was the first time. I got shot 2 times in 1 month before my birthday. And my mom's was so mad at me, God rest her soul, because as a mother that's raising her children, she got to go to work in the morning. She done already went through this shit with me. And so I'm in a hospital and I'm going through it. These motherfuckers is cutting in the wounds and I want my mommy, you know, even though I don't care how grown you is, right?
Facts.
I'm 19 years old and I'm, ooh. And so when the doctor came in, you know, the police kept coming in back and forth and all that shit, man. I don't know nothing, I ain't seen nothing, I don't know what the fuck. I was an innocent bystander, right?
Yeah.
My brother comes in the room, cause I'm like, where's Mom? He's like, man, your mom says she gotta go to work in the morning. Man, she's tired of going through this shit with you. You understand? And so when I came home limping, no bullshit, the next day my mom's, I was mad. And it's like, she's like, let me see it. I'm like, nah, I don't want you to see it.
You should have seen it earlier.
You didn't see it last night. Now when I go kill, God forgive me, when I go kill that motherfucker, don't tell me nothing neither, because you didn't come check on me. And I didn't even do nothing wrong this time. I was literally trying to protect the motherfucker.
Word.
I get shot. I don't tell. I keep it official. Then the nigga tell on me. When I come back and, you know.
So that's why I heard we're gonna talk about it later, but I heard your nickname in the joint was Pest Control.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But we're gonna talk about that later. But I want to say something that you said. I remember the first time, rest in peace to my brother, L Boggs, fucking Boston legend.
Yeah, rest in peace.
This nigga, the first time he got shot, I remember this nigga's leaving 3 C's on some shit.
Not
like,
3 C's.
My brother, he was a Jamaican nigga, so he was a Jamaican nigga, so he did what he did, and he had his fun how he had his fun. But he leaving 3 C's, me and all my niggas, my man Darius, few females, we was a bunch of Roxbury females. We was at Timothy Park. And Timothy Park is the only beat of park that have the lights on after 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock.
Right.
And they'll close off around like 1 o'clock, 12:30ish. So we up there, my mom calls me, yelling like, where you at? I'm like, and this is me like 16. I was one of them kids, I'll be outside, I'm outside, nigga. Like, call my cell phone, I'm outside, I'll be home when I make it home, whatever. Like, you know, I'm outside. Like, my parents trusted me like that.
Right.
So she yelling, I'm like, what's your problem? She's like, bring my car home now. Because I'm in that car, I'm like, what's your problem? Don't fucking ask me no question, bring my car home now. I'm like, all right, whatever, man. Like, man, she's tripping. I ain't going home right now, nigga. I'll be home in a little bit, whatever. So we finished doing what we doing, head home. I get to my crib, nobody's there. I'm like, fuck it, whatever. Go, chill. I'm probably drunk at the time, nigga. Go in the crib, fall asleep. I wake up. My older brother's on the couch with a fucking big-ass gauze on his, like, all right here, no shirt on. Mm. And I'm like, I walk in that week, I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with you? He's like, nigga, they tried to shoot me with a 40 last night, but they ain't taking nigga. I'm like, so that's why why ain't niggas just call my phone and say that? Like, why ain't niggas, but my mom didn't know how to express her emotions and nothing. It was just, now get the fucking house and do what I'm saying. I'm like, ooh, no. And it was the same thing with my father. Like, me and my father had this conversation maybe like, I got out of jail for some shit, and it was what it was. So we sitting down talking, and he's just like, yo, I'm just like, yo, bro, you really can't talk to me like that, because why? Growing up, you try to rule me with fear. I don't fear nothing no more, bro. So now it's like the way you try to educate me growing up.
Right.
Now it's falling on deaf ears, bro. It's like, nigga, who? Bye, I'm not paying attention, you know, and it's wrong. Like, me getting to my age, 30, 32 now, I'm not gonna lie, my father provided me a great life. Like I said, he did what he did, but he owned businesses, and he was smart about shit. We went on trips and all that, like, and that's a lot of reason why I don't go on trips now, because if I can't match the energy I was doing growing up, what am I doing now, nigga? Like, there's no point. I did all that. I did it already. It's like, if I can't match it or do it better, then why go do it again? But I do think of that myself too, and I'm just like, yo, just get over it, bro. Just part of me have a conversation with him. It's like, nah, nigga, fuck all that shit.
Nah,
Nigga, I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. But
you gotta do it.
hearing what you're saying, bro, like I said, I told you, I brought you here for a therapy powwow session, man. I told you we might cry by the end of this podcast, man, because I know me and you had a lot to talk about. And see, it's like I can't even run this podcast how I wanted to, bro. Like I said, he got me on my Brian Gumbo shit. Like, okay, I'm going like this. Questions is like this. Questions like this. We gonna no free form. But every time you talk, bro, I'm just like hanging on everything. I'm like, bro, it's just like I'm looking at an older version of myself, and it's like, my nigga, if you want to get there, bro, you don't wait till the age Jesus now. You get there where the fuck you at now. And like, that's how I am with my little niggas. Everyone knows how close I am with my little brother, but that's the reason why. Cause I'm so close to him because my older brother passed away, and I don't have a close relationship with my father and everybody. So I'm making sure everything that I didn't have, I'm giving to my little brother.
Right.
The love, yo, I love you, little nigga. Yo, what you need from me? What you got? I got, all right, yo. Nah, cuss him out, but still, what you need? I got you, bro. All right, cool.
I like that.
And it's like, I feel like I didn't have that back in a certain times. So I'm just making sure, my little nigga, whatever you need, bro, comfortable to come with me, and don't be scared or feel like I'm gonna judge you or get mad at you, none of this. But it's all a growing process. And my father was like that because he's like, you can't fuck up all the shit that we got, bro. You have a good life. You can't just be going off the rails and doing all this, because at times I would be bugging, but I was always a smart ass kid. Like, my punishment in the crib was I had a bookshelf in my house. My punishment growing up was, yo, go read that book and write a fucking book report for it. So it's like, so when everybody now be talking this pro-black shit, I'm like, I've been on this shit. You niggas don't know what y'all talking about. Like, this is. I'll tell you some real shit, and I'll cite some sources. You niggas just cite an Instagram page or something that you heard about before.
Right.
But it's no buts, bro. Like, I don't even. Break, man. We gotta do a break, cause I gotta
call your father, man.
Quick.
Call your father.
Yo, call your father is crazy. We are back.
Brian Gumbo with a blunt.
Brian Gumbo with a motherfucking blunt, nigga. We are back to the 212 podcast with the illustrious fucking guest, Big Till, OG Till, I'm a G. So we're gonna get into it right now. All the stories I heard about pest control.
Right.
We heard. I got a story of. Let me ask this question. Let me ask you answer it for me. Why'd you get my man Rob kicked off of Plymouth, bro? What happened there? What you do there?
Okay, and this is the shit that really got me in trouble. Like the majority of my life, I always get in trouble for
other
somebody
niggas.
else, you know.
And then also
I know how to articulate shit the way that the system doesn't like a motherfucker. They be like, really, you too smart, you motherfucker, go to the hole. So that situation, no bullshit, and I caught a case, Rob caught a case. There's nothing I would change about that situation because I felt like the way that I laid down the law, like the way that I made sure that I kept everybody safe. Like Rob would tell you, like people would tell you in institution, I have like 20, 30 motherfuckers working out. Yo, the police was so scared, they'd be on the shit like, yo, listen, when you start doing this part of your workout, the burpees, can you just please go out? Because they recognized and they respected also that I wasn't really beating up the police the way I used to do it. I started growing it from that perspective. So
you was beating the police?
I used to torture the police.
This nigga's crazy.
I'm really being honest, but
I believe you.
It's like, in that situation, there was a young homie on the unit. Word got back to me that there was somebody that was there that was kind of like making certain gestures, and this was a young kid, you know? They was making certain gestures towards him sexually.
Who was making sexual gestures?
The older dude was like playing with the young dude like in a way that made people feel uncomfortable.
Okay.
I'm the type of person, you can come to me about anything. Like, I'm very humble. I don't really, like, even in the streets, wherever I can lend a hand and help, I feel like it's my duty to repair a lot of damage that I did. So a white kid can come to me in a unit and be like, yo, they trying to extort me. Who's trying to extort you? They are. Okay, don't even worry about that problem no more, and I'll make sure that I take care of the situation. So when I heard that the older dude was like playing with this dude in a way that made this kid feel uncomfortable, I approached him, maybe a little bit too polite, because I feel like either you're gonna respect intellect or respect violence. So I came to him intellectually. Listen, I don't know if you know what's going on over here, but all this shit's me. I'm hearing that you playing with this kid. I wouldn't advise you to do that no more. I was trying to be respectful. I wasn't on no tough shit, no gorilla shit. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, woo woo. I sit down to a nice intellectual game of chess. Motherfuckers tell me he's doing it again.
Oh, he's an asshole. He's a habitual line stepper. That's what he is.
Habitually, he's crossing the fucking line.
Okay, get him. You gotta
So
get him.
I'm feeling away at this time. Like, you have to understand, I'm in one of the biggest fights in my life. You know, that case that you was referencing or whatever about all that, those other things allegedly. My mother had cancer and it came back. So I'm dealing with all these different things. I got over hundreds of $1,000s invested into Krowski, shout out Krowski, and Reddington, because Krowski, you deserved every dollar of it. But Reddington, shout out to Reddington.
They squeezed every penny out of him for it.
Yeah, so my shit is, I'm going through all of these different things, man. They keep pushing my court back 3 months, every 3 months. And this nigga's playing with this young dude. So I got into a situation where I approached the situation. And Black Rob, at that time, he done already been through too many rides with me. Like, he done seen me. He used to be like, bro, like, why the fuck it always gotta be you? Like, I'm splitting niggas shit. Like, I'm just, like, going through because I just don't like rats. And so...
Yeah, so I heard your nickname was Pest Control. Anytime a rat came into you, I heard you got the calls like, yo, Tell, get the nigga out of here.
He had to go.
So... with you being that nigga, Pest Control, and he didn't even get to him almost throwing the CEO off the top tier, and that's why
that was that situation, Rob. Yeah, that was a situation.
But hey,
it is what it is. We're not glorifying his kids.
We're not glorifying. We're not. But I just want you to talk about it, what you've been through, and how you got to be the motherfucker you are right now. So, explain a rat.
A rat?
Yeah. Explain a snitch.
So. I feel like the lady that is walking home from work and she's, you know, coming from her 9-to-5 job, and motherfucker snatch her purse. He run off, he get caught. She says, you know, this motherfucker took my purse. She's not bound to street rules.
Only a
lady? She's not
lady?
a rat. No, anything. If you're a 9-to-5 person, right? Okay. You're not a person that really make the decision that you're gonna step into the street, you're gonna commit acts of crime.
As my nigga called in the wire, the working man.
You understand? So if you're not really doing street shit and you tell on me, like I've been in situations, dead ass, I was in federal court and a lady came in and I with all the respect and admiration, I looked at her like, damn, I feel bad that she you could tell she don't even want to be here. And she literally said, I seen this motherfucker pistol whip dude, he had the gun to him, he ran in, and I swear God's my witness, and if that lady's watching this, she'll know. When she see me, she was like, young man, what are you doing? Man, I ain't doing nothing. I got a 40 on me. I didn't be like, bitch, mind your business, put it in her face. She's an innocent, she could have been my mother. My point is, like, if you're not living a life of crime, you're not a rat or a snitch. To me, a rat or a snitch is a motherfucker that I feel like is playing both sides. Like, you want to commit crimes, but then you want to make an excuse of why you could bend the rules.
So which is, I feel, is a snitch and a rat, like I said, from what I've heard from street code growing up. Right. But it's like, how is the real niggas allowing the internet world to tell us what street code is?
Because I feel like niggas will dick suck anybody that got some paper. You know, like I feel like niggas is really putting their morals aside.
No morals,
and then shit. I feel like, and again, like no bullshit, bro. I try not to even get invested into this shit anymore. I just want to save who I can, right? First of all, to me, what I would like to tell kids is, and these young niggas is, don't even make that decision. Like, I want to prevent you from even crossing that line to where we got to decide if you could take this weight, you could take this ride or not, or you going to really cross the other side and be a rat, right? So the first step is prevention, right? Like, don't even do this shit. But if you make that decision, you got to take whatever come with this shit. I don't give a fuck. I don't want to hear none of this. Oh, the nigga died. So cause I'm telling you, niggas was doing this shit when I was younger, right? Yeah. Niggas had this thing that where niggas would do, like basically say a Cody when he copped out. And I understand the other side's argument that, you know, oh, you're only a rat if it affects someone. I understand what you're trying to say, but I'm just saying the way that I was raised, the way when we came down this shit, we just didn't cooperate, because this is, I'm gonna tell you, this is where the problem comes into it, you semi-rats.
And a semi-rat is a rat.
No, exactly. You dry snitching,
You
all
can't
of
be
this shit.
semi-black and not be
Yeah,
black.
nah. I'm being sarcastic. But here's the problem with that. Now, you get put in a situation where a motherfucker, you say, okay, dog died or whatever the case may be. This is your reason. Now, mind you, any nigga that rats is gonna have a reason to why he told, right? We wasn't in a fucking room with you. We really don't know what you said. Why would you sit down with these people? Because you expect me to believe now that you went and sat down with these people, the only thing you said was, oh, the nigga died, so I put this on him. But then I'm gonna show you where if you really watch people tell on themselves, because when people in them situations, why do they backtrack then? Oh, nah, that really didn't happen. That was really some make-believe shit. I was just kidding. Stand on what it is that you believe in if that's really your position, right? I don't agree with, listen, I don't advise nobody to sit down with any type of law enforcement. But I'm gonna tell you what my attorney says. My attorney says, now when we go to trial, I'll blame an empty seat. Let your fucking lawyer do it. Because now don't make me feel like you're questionable because I don't know what the fuck else you said in that room. There was like this joke and shit, right? And this is where I feel like this ties into these so-called niggas that got these little private conversations where they feel like there's certain things that's acceptable. Motherfucker said, two niggas committed a crime, right? One nigga they both ran, one nigga got caught. The nigga that didn't get caught, he's in the hallway hiding. The one that got caught is walking by. He's like, you might as well come out, they got us. The nigga's like, what the fuck, they got us? They got you. Now they got me. They take him to the police station. Now the nigga that got caught, he come out the room. He's like, what did they say? Shit, they said they ain't got me no more. They got a lot on you though. You know? So I just don't, I don't agree with motherfuckers sitting down having conversation with these people and then saying, oh, I only told on somebody that died, because then what is gonna be next? Oh, I only told on him because he was a op. I only told on the nigga because he was doing too much on Instagram. Like, let's not start cookie cutting
You're right.
the reason why you said some shit.
You're 100% right. But, so are you telling me there's no niggas walking around Boston that you know, that you respect, that you fuck with, that you heard some shit on and there's no and you heard there's paperwork on, but you're just like, it is what it is?
No. There's a difference between me hearing some shit and me knowing that it's solidified.
Okay.
Now, if there's a nigga that's walking in the city that I know is solidified that he's a ratatouille, jalapeno, hot pepper, hotter than a motherfucker, like, I don't give a fuck about you. I don't respect you. I don't like you. I don't fuck with you. And I don't want you misleading these kids, because now what you're starting to do is you making these kids think now, okay, I can get into this shit and be halfway into it, and when I feel like the game isn't really giving me the shit that I wanted it to give me, I'm gonna say, shit, fuck it. Well, I rat, like, you know, like you get these different types of situations. I don't speak on men, but I'm just saying, because we having this conversation, I feel like because I went through these trials and tribulations, bro, my mother, and God rest her soul, my pops was heated at me. This nigga, literally the feds, and one of those cases you have, the connection in between my carjack and all of that shit, bro, they came to me, the feds told me straight up, listen, we heard a lot about you. You ain't John Gotti, but you ain't Pee Wee Herman. You was allegedly in whoop whoop, all types of shit, bro. You think I didn't think to myself it was over for me? I knew to myself, bro, I'm like, dog, it's over for me. But it's like when I had that conversation with my mother, first my father was on the phone. Whoa, you need to stop being selfish. You need to think about your life and whoop, and they're saying they'll cut your time. Man, listen, I'm not trying to hear all that shit. God's my witness on my breathing kids and breathing and not breathing. My mother got on the phone, son, what's going on? Mom, what's going on is I made a decision to do what I did, and you already taught me since I was a kid, when you do something, you accept responsibility for the shit that you do. My mother says, son, I respect that. That was the end of the conversation.
And that's top G shit. That's real G shit. Real man shit. But back to the internet shit you said too. And that's why I know a lot of people are gonna they're not gonna like this coming out of my mouth.
Right.
I appreciate the nigga DJ Academics. He's a journalist. So what he is talking about, he says all the time, I'm a square ass nigga. I'm square. But you rapper niggas that are perpetuating all this gangster shit, talking all this real, this and this, but you niggas are really tattletales. You niggas are actors. You niggas are just like the niggas in movies, just paid way less.
Right.
So all these rappers, all these entertainers give this nigga so much material to talk about. How you mad at someone else because it's something you did?
Right.
And that's something I tell my brother, I tell anybody. I said, if someone says something about you and it's true, you can't be mad. It is what it is. Like,
facts.
I use the example like niggas are love. Like if niggas are fucking with a female and the female go run into her friends, like, oh that nigga fucked the shit out of me. That nigga laid it down. Niggas is like, oh yeah, well you know that.
Right.
But if she goes like, yo, that nigga shit was whacked. Yo, why that bitch is running her mouth on my.
Right.
It's
right.
the truth.
Bitch, I'ma slap you.
Nigga, you gotta take both sides, my nigga. Whatever you did, you can't be mad at someone speaking on it because it's the fucking truth.
Facts.
And I know a lot of niggas are like, Boosie, come on, man, you a real nigga. I fuck with academics. That nigga, I fuck with the shit he does because it's a necessary evil.
Plus, he's living in his truth. That's the same thing getting back to Black Rob. The first time that I met him, I didn't know he spoke English. Like, I thought he was dead ass, like, no bullshit. I'm coming on a unit to exterminate. I'm already not feeling it. My bag's already still packed. I go into a room with all Dominicans.
So I'm like, niggas from the top,
yeah, so no. So I'm like, no, Black Rob, but yo, I respect, because you don't have to be a gang member to be a man. So dead ass, when I got over the fact that there wasn't no barrier that he did speak English, I'm like, yo, what's up? I'm like, where you from? He's like, bro, I ain't from nowhere. Cool and confident as ever. And so getting back to the reason why I brought up that point is you gotta respect a person where people come up a certain way that they can really be themselves. And tell you, nigga, I'm a square. Because I'm gonna be honest with you kids, like, you got niggas in the prison doing double life.
That don't want to do that.
That'll literally tell you, like, and that's the crazy shit about it. And that's why I don't really try to be too preachy, but I know that I get a lot of DMs from kids, and I do my best. You say you don't try to be too peachy? Too preachy, you know? Like, I'm not on no Martin Luther King shit. I'm not trying to be on no, like, no disrespect to Martin Luther King, but what I'm saying is, because Martin Luther King, there was two sides to him. He was on some militant shit. They don't show that
That's
side.
when they killed him.
Then it was, exactly, but my point is, I don't want to stand from the podium preaching to everybody and act as if I'm like this angel or this saint, but what I'm saying is, you know, like, don't get into this bullshit that these niggas is feeding you. As a child, like, I mean, to these kids, you know, like.
I feel what you're saying, but I don't feel what you're saying because it's like, who you gonna listen to? A nigga that walked this path, or a nigga that walked to the left, did to the zigzag to the right, and said, okay, I want to talk to these youth and tell them to do something else.
Sometimes you got to go through it. Like, I could tell you, right? But you might have to go through it. I'm gonna give you an example. When I was coming in, and I was mad at the system, but when I look back, like, everything that I went through, I had to go through it. I could say, like, there was times I would blame them because I was like, yo, they literally gave me a minimum mandatory charge. I have no record. But it was like, bro, I was in the streets. I was active. I was already gonna become what it was that I was gonna become. I'm sitting in the back of a prison van. This mob dude, he's like, yo, kid, no bullshit. I could see it in you. He's like, I could see it in your eyes. Like, you heading down the wrong road. He's like, yo, they just gave me 50 years. He was like, yo, the street shit is over. If I was you, I'd get me a good girl. I'd get me a construction job. Whoop, whoop. I was like, yeah, man. And
all the good girls love hood niggas, though.
Listen, and he saw it.
All the good girls love hood niggas, though.
Bro, he saw it in my eyes. He said, you know what? You probably ain't gonna even listen. So my point is, a lot of times motherfuckers gotta go through this shit. You might get to a point where you like, damn, I wish I would've listened. But it might take you a long time. Same time, shout out to the older homie 4/5. When he was on his murder, he's in my cell. I'm on a triple shooting case. He's talking to my cousin, who's on like just a regular attempted murder. And he's trying to like basically tell him like, bro, like, change your life, whoa, whoa, whoa. And I don't know what I was saying, but he's like, bro, it's too late for you, bro. Like, I already know. And I'm young too. My cousin's like 17, I'm like 18. You dig? Like I'm almost 19. My cousin's 17, about to be 18. But that's what my point is. There's certain people that's not really gonna accept the message. They might hear you, but they really ain't listening. I totally respect that because it took me a long time to really listen. So regardless of my influence, regardless, but I am speaking for the kids that do DM me and be like, yo, bro, what should I do? Whoop, whoop. And I like to say something about this social media shit and how it determines, and this is what I want to say to the young people, right? You might get up every day and you might do your little 9-to-5 job, making a little $50,000 a year, right? Every day before you get up and you go to work, you literally looking at motherfucker ball out. Nigga might post on his story, I just made 100K this week. And you about to go to work and you like, damn, why I ain't got no motion? Why do I have to be work just a regular nigga? Like, this nigga's living, he got the rollies in Miami on the jet ski, woo, 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 right?
Yep.
You might think like, my life is just totally just on some regular lame shit. But imagine when you find out that this nigga was slinging that dog food, he go do 10 years, right? And that 10 years, your 50K a year became 500,000.
Exactly.
He made 100K, that's 10,000
Exactly.
a year.
Stay down for the come up.
So you got to stay down and you got to block out the bullshit. And it goes to my point that I was making earlier too. Motherfuckers ain't gonna really give you the full story.
So what is the biggest detriment to our community right now? Drill music or the internet?
I feel like it's the internet because drill music really don't change, and I'm gonna tell you why.
I don't know. I
I'm gonna tell
disagree
you why.
there.
Okay, let me give you my perspective
Talk
of
to
it.
me.
First of all, I mean, I'll give you my top. I fuck with the drill. Like, I fuck with the Boston drill. I also got my own little weird synopsis of what it came. I feel like Boston has its own history of drill. When this is some deep shit, and I beg to differ. Call me out on this. When Benzino introduced the Wise Guys, to me, I feel like that was Boston drill culture. You had active niggas from hoods, Mass Murder and Mike, who these were niggas that were older than me, that have relationships, personal experiences where niggas was really active. They was coming to each hood getting the most active gang members and really on some shit like, and I feel like that shit that'll live by the gun, die by the OP shit, that shit was drilled in me. That was so a part of our culture. I feel like when kids from JP was in their videos, that was drill. When the 8 bus niggas had they shit going on.
8 bus was a movement back in the day.
That was drill. So
yeah.
my point is, I'm trying to make 2 points.
I call that Boston rap, but I hear what you. I get the point you're making.
I'm not saying we invented drill, but I'm just saying we was representing, niggas was really talking about the shit that they went through.
Yeah.
They was also talking to their ops. If you really think, ain't that your mission fitted, whatever, no disrespect. Because like I said, I'll go into the niggas that I listen to in the Boston drill culture, but we can get to that at a little bit of a point. But my point is, this is why I feel like the drill culture is not a bigger detriment than the social media. First of all, when I sat back as I was writing this book, right, and I started thinking about just why I really don't feed into the hood shit. I deal with each niggas as men. I take people as men.
So drill's not hood shit?
No, it is. But let me just get to the point that I'm trying to make is this. There's not one hood that I hate in the city. I treat men and I address men as men. Because this is what, and I want you to really think about this shit. And I'm gonna get back to my drill point. Think about you being a kid when you was in your neighborhood, right? You playing kickball or whatever it is. Somebody come that you don't even know. You don't know who the fuck these niggas is. But they say that they're from another hood. Oh, kids go in the house. Now niggas are shooting or whatever the case may be. Now you're petrified, right? Now the older niggas in your hood come through. They might dump at them. Now you start seeing these niggas as the protectors. You start hating whoever the name of these niggas that you heard came through and instilled that fear in you, right? Now, you and your homies that you went to school with, now, as you get 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, now you become the older niggas now. You protecting the hood, right? Somebody's looking up and they're watching you because you're making them feel safe. Because now, when these niggas come through or you go through there, they look at you as almost you a superhero. But guess what? The older niggas from your neighborhood is making those kids on the other side feel the same way, right? So this is my point. I feel like the music don't mean shit once there's bloodshed, the music's only gonna make me want to kill you faster, or we might laugh or we might throw jabs because to us this gangbanging shit becomes a sport. But once there's bloodshed, that music shit don't mean shit to these kids. They want to kill you for the funeral they went to, or for their man, or for the nigga that literally they might have been sharing 50-cent cakes with as kids, or might have been beefing over a little shorty that went to middle school or whatever it is. So it's not the music to me, because to me it's not the catalyst. What I feel the bigger detriment to me is social media, because motherfuckers get caught up in too many other people's lives. How would you feel, right? This is why I say social media is a detriment. If right now, this is our house, you look over there, right where this camera is, you see some eyes looking through your blinds. What do you feel?
I'm petrified. I'm scared.
Like, what the fuck is, that's what social media is. A bunch of fucking peeping toms. Nobody really fuck with you.
Okay.
You understand? So now you got a bunch of peeping toms looking at your life, judging you. They really ain't your supporters. They really don't fuck with you. They're really waiting for you to fall off. They waiting to see, oh, does shorty know that she fucked with his man over there? She's fucking with her man, or she snapped the nigga and she sent it because she don't really fuck with her girl. She want to see her unhappy, and she know this nigga just bought a nice Chanel bag or whatever the case may be. So now she want to fuck up what she got going on with the nigga because he's in the restaurant. Snap it, send it to your shorty. Niggas is looking at niggas, oh, that nigga really ain't getting it like that. His shit's light. He got Moissanite diamonds. Whatever it is that, it becomes, we're breeding a bunch of people that's over-saturated and infatuated other people's lives. Somebody said the other day, I'm gonna make this point and I'll let you talk. Somebody said the other day, oh, I miss Little Baby and Jada. You don't even know them people. You don't even know them people. So it's like everybody's so invested.
Yo, this nigga's crazy. You right, bro. You right.
But go ahead.
But so, like, I've been on this journey right here to do this podcast. Like, niggas been really putting the battery in my back to do this shit for years. Like, I really been supposed to do this shit, but I stopped for a little while because no bullshit. Shit was going on. I don't want to get into it, but my man's and him had a podcast going on. I was like, yeah, man, I'm supporting everything y'all got going on.
That's
Fuck
real.
it. I don't need to do what I got to do. And plus, I'm like, I'm not no internet nigga. So when I've been going through this journey of just feeling more secure in myself, it's just like, nah, I let me put my voice out there on the internet because niggas gotta hear something. Niggas gotta hear what I gotta talk about.
Right.
You are one of the niggas that made me feel comfortable about it, Till. Going through a few years ago, and I kid you not, when I started seeing you on Instagram doing the comedy shit and everything, the first few things, I'm like, nah, nigga, not Till, nigga. Cause the first one was acting shit where the nigga was looking at your shorty and you grabbed him up and shit like that.
Oh, that wasn't acting.
Okay, see. Woo, thank you, cause I'm about to say, bro, that broke my heart. I said, nah, bro, this nigga's not, nah, bro, nah. And then, I swear, talking to my brother Herb, and I'm like, Herb sent me one of the videos, and I'm like, he's like, yo, this thing, he's like, dude's mad funny. I was like, that ain't Till, bro. Like, that nigga's a real nigga out here. That nigga ain't no fucking internet nigga out here playing games on the. I hate that prank shit. Cause you know, if a nigga prank me, bro, I'ma hurt you.
Right.
I'll be the wrong nigga in jail. Like, nah, bro, that nigga pranked me, bro, and it wasn't even that serious. Leave me alone, cause at certain times, you don't know, don't be bothering me cause you want to get it off. So when I seen Till on some internet comedian shit, I said, you know what? Fuck it, hold on. That made me a little degree closer. Like, you know what? Fuck it, man. I might step out here and get on my podcast shit. I might get on my internet shit. So to hear you say this now, it's like, but you went through your stint, bro, on your Instagram comedian shit, and that influenced me.
No, but that's a different. I feel like, first of all, it's crazy because that's a great point, right? And I don't take nothing from that experience. I'm really appreciative. I feel like as men and being leaders, like, we have to really acknowledge, like, you know how a nigga you'll go through some shit with a shorty, like, man, fuck that bitch, the bitch pussy stink, like, yo, dead ass, you might be lying on her, no disrespect to women, I'm just saying the typical man, right? I try not to think typical, because I could be going through some shit, like, no bullshit, there'd be times bitches is firing my ass up. You'll never know it, because I don't really get personal with the net. I don't really get personal as far as in the perspective of, I feel like if I fuck with you, Especially, I look at two things. If I fuck with you, I feel like I'm always gonna fuck with you to an extent. Because even if we don't fuck with each other, I feel like we learn from each other. I feel like, and then secondly, I feel like a lot of men get to stoop down to the level of a woman and you start getting your feelings. First of all, there's a lot of women that carry themselves way greater than a lot of these niggas moving around. So I'm not by means saying that women are on some inferior shit. My man told me this when I first overturned my case. It's the craziest shit. I overturned my case, that big one of those big cases you was talking about. He's like, big homie, and the women, nigga, the women are the new niggas. I'm like, type of bitch assness this nigga talking about.
That could never come out my mouth, nigga.
But look at this though. But look at this. When I sat back and started analyzing, I started watching shit. I'll see a whole bunch of motherfuckers around a rapper. The women are cool as a motherfucker. You got niggas like this with the rapper. Yo, the women ain't even picked their phone up. I'm not gonna lie. I'll go and research. Oh shit, I fuck with shorty over there. Shorty. Them bitches ain't post
I do
nothing.
my research.
They ain't post nothing. But you got this nigga with 50,000 snaps. Me and my man Fab's in here. Fab
We
ain't even
working,
looking at
bro.
that nigga.
We working.
So getting back, this is crazy. So getting back to my point, right?
Yeah,
It's
get
like,
to your point, bro. Cause
yeah.
me and Fab was in the club working one time, bro.
Yo, bro, no bullshit. So getting back to my point, I feel like this is what the difference is. Yo, like, I don't slander any woman that I've ever fucked with because I appreciate them. Because in this journey, even if we don't fuck with each other, I feel like we teach each other something.
Yeah.
Even if we, like, no bullshit. So getting back to that point, when I did that comedy shit, it was a struggle process. Firstly, I just lost my son. I was in a dark place. And it's crazy because this is how deep this shit is. Females, and I know who you are. So females were sending me fucked up messages. But see, me being a leader and me being who I am and me being militant, I overstood their hate. I understood what they were trying to say to me. It's like, you never fucked with one woman like this. Like, you over here, woo, woo, woo. But my problem with that situation is if you're gonna really love a nigga, love me unconditionally. Because you don't know how a person is grieving. I just lost my child. I'm drinking. I'm literally trying to survive each day. Now I meet a person that don't know me and salute to everybody. When I tell you, like, yo, the city literally was behind me. When I tell you,
Had to be.
and they didn't have to be because we're coming from, like I said.
Because you are who you are. Like you said, you a superhero
That don't
out here,
mean
bro.
shit, bro. Listen, nobody owe me anything. This is how I stay humble. If you tell me, yo, bro, you know you looking for that street over there, I feel like I owe you my life. That's the way that I stay humble because nobody owe me anything. Listen.
Cause I'll tell you some shit, bro. Even if some videos you posted, I didn't find funny, I had to like it, or I had to just to be like, nigga.
Because I didn't even see it. I was in such a dark place.
It doesn't matter. Niggas had to do it.
I was in such a dark place,
Like
bro.
I said, at first I was just like, nah, tell me out here acting on no comedian shit,
And
bro.
I'll never,
shit.
yo, salute to her for allowing me that moment in that space to be able to have an escape. Because I'm gonna tell you how this shit happened. I lost my child. I had a gang of females. Like, I'm talking about, when I tell you, like, and it's fucked up because niggas made jokes, yo, free D-Mile, like, nigga, everybody's going to your son's funeral, nigga, because all the bad bitches is going to be there. Oh, nigga, don't jump like that. See the way that nigga jumped? No, I'm joking. Call your father, nigga, because your father was in your life, nigga, you would have jumped like that. I told you he was in my life. Nah, no bullshit. That's real trauma. This is real trauma.
I was about to talk about it, bro.
No. The real trauma is that nigga was ready to blow a whistle. No.
Bro.
I understand that shit. Niggas trained to go. But anyway, so getting back to my point, it's like on some G shit, bro. The women that was around me, everybody that was around me, I had so many people
fucking laughing back there, fucking peanut gallery.
No,
my fault, bro.
That just shows that we got some shit you need to unpack too. Cause you
it
know
ain't
what?
about me today, nigga. We're grieving with a G.
Nah, no bullshit, but no. I'm glad that your emotions ain't so fucked up that shit could just go off and you just be normal. I'm mentally fucked up. You did the normal shit. Like, but anyway, so it's like it's crazy. It's a gift and a curse because I feel like everybody formed like a hedge. When that shit happened to my son, like everybody was there. I'm talking about like, but I feel like the disadvantage was these are people that really knew me, right? And they also knew my child because by me being a father and really like, it was almost like a reality TV show. The shit that I did to my
I
kids,
did
right?
not know this little nigga, but I feel like I knew this little,
You hear me?
lit ass little nigga. I'm
You
like,
hear me?
I'm like, this nigga is a bad, good ass influence because he let these little niggas just beat him, but he keep them in line, but he let them niggas just
Because it was a
beat
message.
him, though.
I would be because I wanted to do everything that I felt my father didn't allow me to do, and I wanted that patience. And there was a lessons in certain shit, right? And if we went fishing, and my son was a little annoyed because his brother did something, no, let's really tell the real story.
The nigga really got his heart broken, and nigga really kept clowning the nigga on
But you
on
know,
the story.
And that's why, damn,
the whole
man,
time,
this,
the nigga
and
kept
that's why,
clowning a little.
you know what? And that's why he's the GOAT, because it's like, God rest my man, okay. I would literally say to him like, yo, son, am I embarrassing you? He's like, nah, he never cared.
That's dope, man.
So as my other son, he
like
wasn't going for that shit. That nigga blocked me.
Like...
So dead ass, and I was tight because because it was like he's more like the old me, my son's like the new me. So getting back to my point, it was like I was in such a fucked up space. But all of the women that knew me, they felt like, yo, this nigga's a lion. So we gonna get this nigga his space, let him stay in that fucking room. If he ain't killing nothing, if he ain't breaking shit up, he's quiet, just protect him long as we know that we here. And I appreciate all of them, like no bullshit. I appreciate everything, every genuine thing that all of those women did for me. But the problem at that moment, I had too much time. Cause it's a nightmare. When you go through some trauma like that, I've lost niggas, I've lost whatever it was, but it was like, I lost a child, bro. And it's like, it's like you could fake it for so long and then you're in that room by yourself with your thoughts. And it's like, nigga, I'm ready to die. Like, hurry up. Every day it was like, it went from, I can't wait to see my child again. I'm ready to die, until a person that didn't know me was able to use that comedy shit to distract me in the way that it happened. It was like, literally, I'm like, man, I'm not with that shit. She's like, oh yeah, woo, woo, woo. And it started off as a joke, and this is how real, and I'm not gonna really get too deep into the shit, but when I'm talking to her, I'm being honest because she's distracted me from the shit that I'm going through. And she's, you know, she got all this alcohol and shit around, and so, shot, yeah, bitch, give me a shot, you know? And so, I'm telling her on some G shit, you're gonna have women like really, you're gonna get death threats, all types of shit. You're gonna go through it, right? So she thought I was joking, but then when the threats started coming, she's like, nigga, I just got like 15 bitches is gonna kill me, woo woo. So I was like, I'm trying to tell you to be.
Nigga,
I said
top
no.
G, nigga.
I said in order to be my girl, baby, you gotta get jumped in, and that became one of the jokes that
I remember that
became a skit. So when she's now telling me like, yo, your life can be literally one big, I'm like, that's not. I literally
and you waking
fought
up on
it.
some jail shit. You waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and
Bro.
she's like, why are you up? He's like, nigga, what you mean? Like, nigga, the day been started. What you talking about?
But my point is, so yeah, bro, I wasn't with it because that's like you said. You start thinking like, man, I'm just not really. That's not because I'm really low key. And then certain shit that I did show before, it was like I really show you what I wanted because I utilized social media the right way.
And I guess that's where I was coming from, a hurt place. Like I said, like you a superhero, bro. Like 8 months after your son passed, like I said, nigga, we watched that shit like it was a show. Like it nigga, even having no little homie, it hurt niggas. And it was just like, what the fuck? Like I remember like. I remember it was around like my nigga Her's birthday. Like I remember that shit. It was like September.
September 3rd.
Yeah. So I remember it was around that shit. Like, so fast forward, my man. Like I don't lost a lot of niggas. Like I've been outside since I was 15. Like 14, 13. Nigga. Like I really done lost a lot of people, a lot of close friends, and it honestly became numb to me. Like I lost my brother. I didn't cry until the funeral until I seen him in the casket. Like, I did not cry until I seen him in the casket.
Right.
Like, I lost so many people close to me. So many people, like, good friends growing up. But the shit really didn't impact me to a year and a half, almost a year and a half ago, 2 years ago when my nigga Shawty passed away. Cause I was with the nigga tonight. Like, we was out here in Improv, nigga, turning up. And nigga, me and my nigga Mouth, we not want to go. Like, we was really trying to scheme out of getting out of the night, nigga.
You said who?
Mouth.
That's my dog.
Yeah,
shout out to Mofo
yeah. So we tried to scheme, trying to get out the night, nigga, but we end up fucking with it and came out here, nigga. And what happened, nigga. And it was just like, that shit sent me in a fucking dark place because me and bro was just getting back right accord because we was mad at each other on some petty childish shit, and we was just getting back to nigga what it was, nigga. And he had this line we always said, like, bro, we got 50 more years in this shit, nigga. Like, get over this shit, bro. We got 50 more years in this shit, nigga. Stop being mad about shit, like. And I'm just like, word. So around that time, like, nigga, I was a fucking that. Oh man, I'm happy to be where I'm at today because that shit was in the worst place I've ever been. But nigga, I seen how you dealt with. I'm like, this nigga lost his son, someone that came out this nigga. Like, what the fuck, Boopsy? Like,
Pause. Came out me. That sound a little weird.
It did though, but pause, my nigga.
I understand what you mean. Yeah.
But I'm just like, yo, nigga, like, pick yourself up, my nigga. Like, this nigga's out here doing comedy shit on social media. You watching this nigga, you doing this shit. Like, bro, get out your feelings, my nigga, and get to it, nigga. And it was just like I said, watching you, how you dealt with it was really just like, cause like your shit was like a reality show, bro. And it's just like.
But you didn't really see the internal shit, like.
Exactly, but it is what it is. But yeah. I still got from what still picked from what you got, and it was just like, nigga, pick it up, cause it seemed like, nigga, you was still traveling, I'm stuck in a fucking crib with my fucking dark room, nigga, smoking my weed, nigga, just leaving, going to work, or not even mad time. Nigga, I'm not going to work. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. But I'm here today, my nigga. It is what it is. Like I said, like, you're a superhero, bro. For period. Like, you was talking about this shit. I can't get on my preach shit. You have to, bro, cause niggas, no matter how much niggas give you your flowers and not, nigga, like, bro, you a testament, nigga, period. From many lanes to from the street, from losing close people to, nigga, boss ass nigga, got a jewelry company, nigga, trucking company, everything you got going on. Like, you have to talk to niggas because niggas want to be where you at.
You know what the deepest shit about that shit was? It's like, it's crazy because getting back to that point, it was like, I took that biggest hit when I made the choice of, I'm really done with everything. Like, it's so crazy. So basically, I feel like God, and this is why, you know, once I get through, like, because when you talk about that comedy shit, like, I'm appreciative because it was a distraction. A lot of that shit is a blur to me because I was just so mentally gone. Like, yo, deadass, you don't, and may this be a lesson, like, when someone loses someone, like, you don't really know what they're going through, don't judge them, like, you don't really know what it might take for them to get through the day, right? Yo, someone would have bought me some crack, I would have smoked it. Bro, I fought every day, like, deadass, like, I fought through every day. At first, like, bro, it was like almost, I went through a lot of crazy, it was a lot of mind-fucked moments. And so, then I had people that supposedly loved me without motive, but then they didn't understand that I was still in mourning, so they seen the comedy shit, and so they sending me, oh, nigga, you out here chasing clout, and your son died. And I'll see the message from a fake number, whatever, and I'm looking at it, and I can't even be mad, bro, because...
That's fucking crazy.
But the crazy shit is I wasn't even mad because I understood what they was really trying to say. But it's like, on some G shit, bro, it's like, man, to really go through these situations, my baby, like, I lost him, and we really literally, we was just talking, we was just catching wreck that day. It's crazy because the way that he passed, he's the one, God sends you so many messages because all my life, right, I've been the type of nigga that it would be like, yo, God, I would read the book of Job, and it's like Job went through so much in his life, and God blessed him. It was like a test. So all my life it's been like, yo, God, whatever it is that I'm gonna go through, I just know that I'm just a real enough nigga to get through it. Give me the worst. So when my mother died, literally I was in a hole. I had to talk to my mother on the phone. I was in full restraints because too many assaults on the police. And it was like something told me to call that day. And it was like, that was one of my biggest fears. It's funny, backtracking just to lighten up the mood. My first biggest fear is every real nigga's fear was to be another nigga around your son. That was the first one. Dead ass. When that shit happened, yo, and it's crazy. Worst. It's so crazy. I was on the phone like, bitch, put that nigga on the phone. I'm gonna kill you. I'm killing that nigga. Bitch, I'm blowing up everything. When my son go to school, yo, she was so afraid and it's fucked up because I was playing with her. No, look, I was playing with her.
You're foul.
See, and this is why I became like such an immaculate man, because now I feel like what's good for the goose is good for the gander. You hear me? You can't expect a woman to just sit around. I don't try not to make no woman around me be my enemy, because I feel like you can make a woman you could sleep with the enemy, because a woman start resenting you, and that's why I feel like I got my best game from a woman. First my mother, and then just the women in my life that taught me about myself. Like, damn, nigga, when you get into it with me, and this is that shit I learned 15, 16, 17, when you get into it with me, you say the shit that hurt my feelings. Nigga, I could say some shit to you that'll just crush you, bitch. What can you say to me? I feel like,
say it.
No, she didn't even say it. But I wanted to know.
It's like, oh.
Yeah, because it would have.
Jesus.
That's my point about women, because men are like dogs, women are like cats. They know how to cover their shit up.
Cats are fucking sick as shit. Oh my
they
God.
They slick with
They're
it.
the worst ones.
So my point is, my point is with this shit is like, bro, on some real shit, it's like you learn just so much from these situations and going through the trials and tribulations, and have to really get into yourself and just know, like, yo, you gotta just really just stay down. Women can go through some shit you'll never know with a woman. So my first situation, it was like, and then crazy because the nigga wouldn't tell me who he was. Yo, literally, I was calling that phone, and it was like that nigga picked up, because she's like, you know him. And I said,
know him?
Listen, I said, no, he knows you. And I said, nigga, just tell me who you are. I'm gonna kill you. Yo, I swear to God, within a week, that nigga was gone, right? So that was my first situation. Once I got over that, I was like,
first, there had to be two.
Look, it was like, no,
third,
look.
Fourth,
it was like, God,
fifth.
because just me being real, I feel like I'm Job. So I'm like, yo, God, put me through it. So I went through that shit now. It didn't matter who she laid with. I just had to come to terms and respect it. You can't play with a woman and expect her to just wait for you forever. So then it was like, yo, I know eventually I'm going to lose my mother. I want to know if I'm going to still be able to have my same faith. Because God says that if you have faith as tiny as a mustard seed, you can move mountains and all of this shit, because I'm going through Pac raised me, the music, and just all of this, right? But when I lost my mother, I was in a hole, and it was like, I'm in full restraints. Now, you have to understand, niggas don't know if I'm talking to my mother who's dying or a bitch that's breaking my heart. Because you don't really know. Like, literally, when you in jail, you gotta wear a mask. Even in the streets too, you can't really be yourself, but it's like I'm literally holding my leg up as my niggas like, yo, homie, we gotta call your mother. You already know, I don't really want to say too much, but nigga, your mother's about to go. And I'm like, word, okay, call her, woo, woo. And I'm listening, and they're telling me my mother's shaking, she's going through the motions. I locked in and had to deal with that shit. And that's also a message to the young niggas, like, if you get into this shit, you gotta be prepared to do some shit that might be some shit you really are gonna learn to live with. And that's like a lot of regrets. You gotta be willing to trade in this. You gonna trade in your mother who raised you for this street shit, or be able to kiss your son goodbye and say, I'm ready to go die for another nigga, but you won't die for your child. You understand? These are the decisions that you're gonna make. And so getting back into what my point was, it was like, now I lose my mother. Then it's like literally going back to like things in my book, it's like shit that from my childhood that I always remember, like the sins of your forefathers, like you're gonna have to pay for this shit. It's like when I lost my son, it was like, this was my little me. Not to say that, because if God would have gave me an opportunity to trade any of my children, I wouldn't know which one to give up. If he said you gotta lose one, so I'm not saying, because a lot of people feel like, yo, that was your little you. I just know it just had to be. To me, it was like, it was just such a deep message, because he's the one that came to me and talked to me about how he inevitably would die. Deep, right? He came and talked to me about the situation because he was so wise beyond his years. And he told me, like, yo, this is what's going on. And I'm like, what's up with Buddy? Oh, he's cool, but he's kind of crash dummy, woo, 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 you know? And I'm like, word? What the fuck is going on, man? This nigga said woo whoop, so on the day that he passed away, he said he didn't want to go. But inevitably he had to go. You understand? He didn't want to go, if you get what I'm saying. Don't let that go over your head. He didn't want to go where he passed away at. But deep down he had to leave me, he had to go. You understand? And so now what prepares you for that type of loss? So when people was like, and that's another thing about social media, and that's another thing that with people need to really start really trying to draw the lines. This shit's reality. This ain't no make up shit. Like, these are real people that you see going through this situation. How fucked up of an individual, and it's like, I'm not tripping. I don't have no animosity towards anyone, right? But I'm just saying, just in just the most simplistic things, how fucked up do you have to be as an individual? How miserable to get on someone's page knowing you don't fuck with them because your life is not really where you want it to be at, but you know she loved that guy and she's going through a broken heart, so she's posting all of her feelings and her emotional distress. Come back to me. I wish you, I'm broken hearted, I can't make it. And now this bitch is really literally going and jumping on a page and she's sending it to other girls in the group. Look at this bitch, she's fucked up. It's her wreck for the day. But what if she jump off a fucking bridge tomorrow? How would you feel? You know, you don't really know how deeply you might affect people. I'm gonna tell you a story, right? One of my mini hats, right, when I was in Atlanta. And that's why, like I said, all my trials and tribulations, there's a lot of ups and downs. I'm not one of them niggas that's gonna tell a story that make it just seem like my life has just always just been lit. I've always been a multi-million, gazillion dollar nigga. That's a story that a lot of these other people will sell you. I'm gonna tell you the highs, the lows, when I was fucked up, when I got it back, because that's what's really gonna make you know that you gotta just really just stay focused and stay down, because it's not gonna always be that. You know, it's a shame that young niggas in the hood live a lifestyle where they know that their best possibility is to go get some Fetty and have a 90-day run and have the best 90 days of their life before the feds come. Then they might have a hoop dream, you understand? Or they might be a rapper, you understand? A female might feel like she might not be Jada, or she might not be some of these other Kim K's or whoever they idolize or whatever, but she might have to finesse a nigga to get certain things that she might need so that she can feel content or feel like her life is something. Because how do you stack up and add to it when every day you gotta look at this shit, but you don't know what they're going through behind the scenes? You don't know how miserable this person may be. But my point is, one of my many hats, like, I just always like to challenge myself. So when you see me doing different ventures, trucking or this, jewelry, I done had a lot of ventures that might have had highs and lows. PUA money run out, we gotta get creative with the jewelry. You understand? Nigga, the trucking, listen.
Out. This nigga's crazy.
Listen,
nah, Tail wasn't on the PUA.
Listen, no, I'm just saying.
Tail's not a creative player.
No. I'm saying these people. I'm talking about anybody that might have been. And don't get it fucked up if it don't apply. If it don't apply, let it fly. Listen, bro, I'm not a nigga that's gonna sit here and portray. If it affected me and I went through it, I'm not ashamed to say that.
And that's how I took
the ability. So my point is this. One of the things that I wanted to always do, like trucking, just certain things I challenged myself, was, I don't know, I was watching a documentary one day, and it was at a point where, no bullshit, I'd invested like a whole bunch of paper into real estate, and this nigga finessed the fuck out of me. And it was crazy. And it taught me it taught me a valuable, shout out to you too.
On some Boxdale shit, on some Stringer Bell shit.
Bro,
don't tell me you got Stringer Bell down here, bro.
It's crazy because they used to call me that dude. I still don't know. I was in jail. I missed that whoever.
Damn. But you missed the white and you didn't catch up?
I don't. If niggas go left, I go right.
Nah, I tell you, nigga, I just started watching it. I just watched the Wire 2 years ago.
I might fuck with it, but my point is this. So check it out. Fuck the Wire, right? I'm giving you real life. So, yeah, he finessed. That shit was some fly shit. So, he literally showed me that you could take a nigga that's stronger than you, because I was like, I could have crushed this dude, but his finesse game.
He had more intelligence in that field.
And he knew how to stay poised through it all.
Yeah.
But it taught me a lot about life. So my point is, while I was going through something and I got it all back by the grace of God, he got me for a nice amount of change, literally finessed the fuck out of me with some real estate that he sold me a dream with, and it was really just me getting him out of his situation. One of the things that I always wanted to accomplish was I always wanted to sell cars. I don't know. I wanted to do it, but this was my point. This is why I want to get back to my point of how you never know how you might affect someone's life. I'm a smooth nigga. I go get into it. I start doing the car shit. I go to class. I see this dude. He's an older dude. He got the Walmart shirt. Mind you, I'm already getting to it. So even though I just took this hit, I'm fly as a motherfucker coming into school because I was already trying to go search for real estate and doing these different ventures with the dude that finessed me. So I'm going in there clean as a motherfucker. I'm sharp as a tack. I'm sliding through,
some
nigga.
suave shit.
Listen, and I see Buddy, but it's like I never really got an opportunity. We kind of like spoke briefly here and there, right? He reminded me of Eeyore, like in that Winnie the Pooh shit. He always had his head down, dead ass. I swear to God. And
Yes.
And so
Yes, Winnie.
I swear to God. So one day, right? One day I'm moving. I mean, I'm selling cars like a motherfucker. And so as I'm shopping, going to go close a deal, I see Buddy, and he's like, "You really got this shit down packed, don't you, man?" Buddy. No one ever notices me. No. So, dead ass, like that's all I heard. Yo, for some reason,
No one ever notices me.
I almost ignored him, but God told me to speak to him. I literally told that nigga, pick your fucking head up. Like I was in the middle of closing my deal. I'm like, nigga, pick your fucking head up. The same thing that's in my chest is in yours, nigga. You got a heart. You got to get out here and fucking make a way, bro. We was just in that same class together. You can do this shit. And I walked off and didn't even think nothing about it.
Nigga turned Eeyore to Winnie the Pooh, nigga. What the fuck?
No. Listen how crazy this is. And this is where I want to bring it back to social media, how you might not never know what a person is going through. Buddy kept sending me messages, because mind you, I ain't gonna lie, I threw a couch at the general manager of the car.
You threw a couch at the...
It wasn't my fault, but it was like...
Nah, the jail pictures I used to see back in the day, nigga, you like fucking Johnny Bravo, nigga. What the fuck?
I'll pick this motherfucker up and throw it at you, nigga.
Yeah,
how bad you want them ratings now?
Yo, nah.
No.
The two drop podcast.
No, because my problem was, my thing, how you said earlier, and that's why I was fucking up in this conversation as we was conversing, is because I see a lot of similarities in you and me, because I feel like I never wanted to be on no gangster shit. That's just some shit that come out of me, and when I'm alone with myself, I'm like, what the fuck made you do that?
I drink wine. I listen to Sade majority of my day, like.
But that don't mean, but it's
Yeah,
like
exactly.
you'll
That
do
would be
whatever
shit,
it takes to survive.
I'm a real
so
man.
my point was, dude kept trying to contact me, but I'm no longer there. And then the bag came back. Thank the Lord. Thank God. You know what I'm saying? The bag came back. Now I'm pulling up. So one day I pull up in the Lex, right? When I pull up, he's like, "Hey man, I've been trying to talk to you. I've been trying to get a hold of you."
Eeyore?
Yeah, listen. I've been trying to get a hold of you. I invited you to Thanksgiving. I'm like, yeah, bro, I'm just going to keep it a buck with you. When I seen that message, I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you, buddy? I got family. You think I don't want to spend Thanksgiving with my family? I'm not really even into that.
I love it.
So he said, yo, bro, he said, come over here. Let me tell you something. He said, do you know that day, and he lifts his head up and he looks up in the air, bro, on my son Kimani's grave. He says, that day that you had that talk to me, I was about to blow my fucking brains out. Nothing was working for me. He was like, my divorce, my marriage was failing. I was about to get a divorce. My house was in foreclosure. I literally was losing everything. I come here to try to sell cars. I'm not good at this shit. I'm a chef by nature. But when you told me, lift your head up, the same thing that's in my chest is in yours, I felt like God was sending a message through me. And I didn't kill myself. Bro, this grown man is in tears now.
Till, you're a fucking superhero.
Nah, bro, it's not that. Hold on.
We need a break, man.
Yeah,
we need a fucking break.
call your fucking father. This nigga's tripping, man.
Do you feel like you suffer from survivor's guilt?
Definitely. I feel like when you live the type of life that I've lived and a lot of us lived, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't feel like there's nothing any different from me. Like, when motherfucking, you could be a person that literally walk through the same neighborhood every day and then you hear that a little girl got hit by a stray bullet. It's like, we be so close to this shit that it's like, we all affected and we all go through certain traumas and, we go through these type of situations to whereas, yeah, you feel like, damn, why am I still here? And I feel like the reason why we're here is because it's like you serve a purpose. And I feel like my purpose now is to try to right as many wrongs as I can, Yeah. Because it's unfortunate when I look back into a lot of the decisions that I made, I wasn't even a man myself. So when you got niggas looking up to you to be a leader, during those times, it's like, it's fucked up because I wasn't even a man. I didn't even understand life. And it goes back to a point of something you said earlier when you said how the homie, God rest his soul, his death, the recent death affected you more than when you was losing. And I feel like this the same way with me. I feel like when you young, you don't really understand life. So yeah, those losses, they affect you, but it's like life is like GTA to a motherfucker that really don't really understand life and you losing lives. But the older you get, the more you want to be here. You understand? You start realizing like you got to move on a purpose, and you start realizing that as you get older, this shit is gonna affect you more because you're starting to appreciate and value life more.
And it's like this is heavy for me to say right now, and it's just real shit. Like I said, we was gonna get real. We was gonna have to get deep in these conversations, but that was like I probably done felt survivor's guilt twice in my life, and it's real. It's like the niggas I came up with, my terror squad niggas, recipes terror. Shout out to my niggas. Like,
oh, the little homie Terror
yeah,
that passed away when he was like 15, 16?
yeah.
It's crazy.
We created a crew of niggas after like.
He was a legend. He was a fly young
Yeah,
nigga. And it's crazy. I know his mom's Keisha, all that. Life's it's crazy.
Shout out to them, man. Shout out. But so we created a crew of niggas. Like it was like 7, 8 of us. That was just. I'm the only one, bro, that ain't in jail for murder or in and out of jail. Like so a certain time we think about that shit. Like niggas about to start coming home for shit they did, and it's like I'm happy about it, but it's like damn, like the fuck, like. I tell them, think like, what the fuck did I do this whole time? My niggas been in there. Like, nigga, I should have become. Niggas should be come home for way more. Like, should like roles be reversed? Like, cause I know niggas been on some other shit. But then it's like the other times in this most recent situation, it was like how everything happened. It was just crazy, and it was just like, bro, like even though bro was bro, he just a jovial guy. He was always happy, always thing. Like that was the first time I felt like, cause. And I was hearing what niggas was saying is like niggas was putting a lot of pressure on because niggas, you know, when first things happen, niggas is all speculating. This happened. Niggas saying this happened. A lot of blame got put where it wasn't supposed to and got with the thing. And it hit me at certain times. I was like, damn, like maybe it should have been me. But, and I was like, during the times I was going through it where I said I was in that dark ass place and I'll be seeing you on your comedy shit or seeing you doing it's like, what the fuck is it? All right, hold on. If everyone else is moving around and making this shit, nigga, put your fucking bootstraps up. Nigga, what the fuck's wrong with you, bro? So it's just like, I've always heard that term and I've always felt it, but I never really like, before I thought about it, I'm like, all right, most of my niggas, like I said, my niggas in jail. Like they can still come home, they can still do this, they can still live a life. So some of them still out of jail doing this. Maybe they still be going back and forth, whatever. Mm-hmm. It is what it is. But that's the only time where it was like, damn, like this nigga was a great man. Like the nigga was, like you said, an immaculate man earlier. Like this nigga was an immaculate fucking man. It was just like, I don't know. You can't explain. Don't even know how it happened or what the fuck. It was. Yeah, it is. I can't.
I feel like sometimes, not to cut you off, I feel like sometimes, you know, we all got a journey to go through, right, in this life. And I feel like he came and he did his job. Like the same thing with my son. It was like he was so precious, but there was times I would look at him and I'd be like, I can't believe I made you, or he'd smile, or I'd be able to like, I could really see like my other kids as grown men, but I couldn't see Kimani as a grown up. And like he was the type he would just do something to you, and like he would touch you in a different way. Like he was the only kid that I felt that I couldn't like dead ass like all my other kids. Yo, I could literally be like, shut up, Umma. And it's like they'll just tighten up. That nigga, yo, I hurt his feelings the first time and he was dead wrong. And it was like he cried for like 2 hours. And even when I tried to apologize, like he continued to cry to the point I turned on his mother's and I was like, yo, I swear I'll never yell at this fucking kid again. He's been crying for 4 hours. And so it's like, I feel like when I look back at certain people that I lost, I remember last conversations like Danny, God rest Danny. So I literally vividly remember that day, and I remember the way that it played, and I remember certain shit that he did, and he was here to teach me a lesson, and I remember him giving a picture to my child's mother and like, yo, you see that picture, nigga? Those are some G's, and it was him and two of his homies that passed away, my little cousin York and more R.I.P. to
Rest
them.
in peace, man. York and Mo, man.
And so,
legends in the city as well.
You know, and so I was thinking that to myself at that moment, like, damn, he's the only one that made it out of them. And we literally was driving up the block when Maul died. We literally could have been literally there. I just picked him up and we got.
Rest in peace to Smee, Merckx.
Rest in peace to. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you.
All my niggas.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace to like to all the young niggas that come up in there. I don't give a fuck what hood they
where
come
you
from.
Yeah, it's like
because
niggas had dealt with a lot of trauma and pain.
I don't give a fuck what hood they come from.
Over a white man's name.
I respect this, and I'm gonna say this too. I fuck with, as far as like musically, and I understand their pain. I fuck with A-Zip. I fuck with Capo. I fuck with the homie Q Philly. I fuck with Trotty Wild Jizzle. I fuck with A Mook. I fuck with Bricks.
Bricks is nice, yeah.
There's a
Snoop,
Benz.
Nice.
My point is this: I fuck with G Nipsey. I fuck with. That's just what I'm saying is. There's a lot of other rappers that I fuck with in musically too. But I'm just saying, as far as the drill culture, right?
The nigga do be coming up too. He nice too.
He's fired. My point is this, right? I hear a lot of shit that's going on. We're gonna have to come to a point in the culture where we come to an understanding. We ain't got to kumbaya. We don't got to be at fucking. It's only logical.
We don't got to be at odds, but
listen,
we got to respect each other.
Listen. Allegedly, if a funeral, if a nigga been to a funeral, we ain't got to be at a cookout together. But I think that if we learned anything from when we was going through like certain shit in the PUA, right? Motherfuckers can say what they want about Trump, but I'm just gonna be man enough and be honest enough to say it. Trump is a businessman, and I'm gonna tell you, this is a lesson that we should have learned. When the PUA was busting, a lot of the killers was quiet as a motherfucker. There was no stick-up kids.
What I'm gonna say to you is respect what you're saying. I'm one of them niggas, I feel stupid as shit for all the shit I talked about Trump. I felt stupid as shit for voting for fucking the nigga Sleepy fucking Joe.
Yeah, it's been quiet. But my point, could I make my point?
Yeah, you make it, man. But I had to say that. I feel stupid.
This is my point. We need to stop hating and start getting behind. I'm gonna tell you how you know that a lot of these niggas got talents because my kids know who the fuck these rappers are, right?
My little brothers.
You dig what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We got to get to a point, right, as a community where we start realizing it's really no difference in the niggas that we got problems with other than the fact that they might have came up in the wrong neighborhood. If that nigga would have lived on your street, that would have been your friend.
That might have been your best friend.
You understand? We don't got to be best friends, but I feel like, too, if you're saying that you really want to change this shit, stop hating on these young niggas, give them a chance. Stop trying to be in the line and blocking the young niggas.
I don't block these young niggas. I let these young niggas shine.
Not you, but I'm just saying.
But I am that old uncle at the cookout.
My point is, the reason why I'm saying that is because as elders, we got to step out the way and allow these young niggas to do their thing. And I'm gonna tell you the reason why. Don't be a person that's complaining about shit that's going on in the community, but you won't take some of these niggas who got talent, who can make raw music, free Quattro 2. These kids can make music, right? And you hear the pain. All of their stories are almost parallel, right?
Hunter Round-Cardo.
That's my dog.
He's fucking
fire.
crazy.
But
crazy.
My point is, Hunter Round-Cardo, shout out to him. My point is, I don't want to hear you saying that you really want to do something and you want to affect the change when you ain't really trying to help these kids that really got real raw talent, get them out the city. Because you know what they're going to do? You take a nigga from JP, and you give him some money, he's gonna take the most active members in his circle, they're gonna beat it. Now they're gonna go get out the way because they got some money. Same thing with Bricks, his circle. Same thing with Zip, his circle. Same thing with a lot of these circles. It's like we gotta stop being vampires and crabs and having that mentality. Same thing with a lot of your friends, like, motherfuckers like, do you know how that feels? I don't really care about social media. But to a young lady that's coming up and you know she got a beauty line and she's popping, and you won't even retweet her brand, but you under fucking one of these Instagram bitches wishing them happy birthday. How do they feel? Like, we just got to start really getting back to reality and stop just living in the metaverse. Bitches get mad when I say that too. You want to make a bitch mad, or bitch, you stuck in the metaverse. Like, I don't want to hear that shit. Like, you living in the metaverse. So, just my message in closing to the youth is just stay focused. Man, listen, just straight tunnel vision. Don't let nobody deter you. Don't let no one feel like your life is insignificant. One of the most craziest situations is RIP to the little homie Jordan. And I was reading his poem the other day. Before he passed away, the nigga he disappeared off the gram. I'm like, where the fuck is this little nigga? So when I seen him bumping back on the gram, I'm like, yo, where the fuck was you at? He said, I'm not gonna lie to you. I was watching your IG. That shit made me deactivate my whole page because I'm not living. I said, see? I said, bro, you know what's crazy? You the same nigga that used to call me when you was banged up, and I would tell you that being in that situation, you're gonna see who the fuck's gonna put flowers on your grave, little nigga.
Yeah, you right.
Now you got back out. Now you wanna be back in the rat race. Now you think you're not living. You're free.
You're right.
So to the youth, I wanna say, like, stay focused, because you don't really know what the fuck. I done watched niggas go to Miami for a week, spend $12K, and then take Ubers when they get the fuck back home. It's quiet.
Watch niggas. He's the one footing the bill. When niggas go to Miami from Boston, they gotta tap in with Big Tail. They gotta tap in with Big Tail.
No, they don't gotta tap in with me. Again, nobody owe me anything. But my
niggas
thing
gotta
is,
tap in
it don't matter
with
where
Tail.
you're from. It don't matter where you're from. I want everybody to win because I just love to see motherfuckers like really doing their thing. I love to see a lot of the talent that we got going on, females that are taking the chance. And that's not another thing. Don't be afraid to take the chance. Like, I feel like a lot of people get one side and they get sidetracked and everybody's trying to take the fast way. If you ever had anxiety and waiting for a pack to land, and then when that shit didn't land, you was brokenhearted, but you had to get back up and you had to really figure it out. Don't be afraid. If you feel like you talented, invest in your brand. Or if you want to sell shirts, or if you feel like you rap. That's why I respect the niggas that I see that's investing in themselves, because, or the women that are investing in their brands, because if another motherfucker don't believe in you, why should we? You got bottles here, you doing your podcast, you're saying that literally through one of my darkest times, I really motivated you to really do some shit that you just naturally gifted to do. You understand what I'm saying? And look at, you're investing in bottles, you're eating, you're providing ambiance. Like, this was something that was meant to happen. It was predestined. So, you know, if no one else, if you don't believe in yourself, don't expect anyone else to believe in you. So don't give up.
Word, Big Dog still talking on, but this nigga just really just led my whole segment and everything. Like,
I'm sorry, bro.
No, that's all good, bro. You took the show over.
I'm sorry.
So yo, it's
I'm out of here.
Big Tail's podcast featuring Suave today.
I'm out of here, yo, bro. Call your father, bro. If you didn't hear anything else, bro, call your father, man.
Man, I appreciate y'all watching the 5th episode of the 212 podcast. We just getting started. We got a whole lot going on.
I'm out of here.
Big Tail's leaving.
Yeah, I'm out of here.
Make sure y'all like, subscribe, y'all comment, y'all follow us on Instagram.
I'm joking.
Y'all follow us on YouTube.
He'll tell you where to find me.
Follow him on Umma G.
No, so don't follow nobody.
The book, Grief of a G, is coming out soon. This is just the start of the fucking promo, told me. He started it here with the 212 podcast, man. We are so appreciative of Top G, the real Top G, coming through, man, showing us some love, man. Yo, we see y'all another time. Thanks for coming 212 with us.
For 2 cup.
My baby calling, she ain't feeling the trust. It's like, I ain't never love her, but I fuck with the lust. She said that I'm always rapping, so these days will get tough. She said that I got some bitches that I probably go fuck. Tell me if you need me, I can pull up easily. Why you always acting like you don't give a fuck?